Expert testimony for Project 4, Team Australia. What are the legal challenges associated with cyber incidents involving foreign countries? Cybersecurity poses global challenges due to many nations not under one standard. Extradition is therefore very difficult. Cooperation between nations is non-existent or difficult at best. For example, China steals U.S. intellectual property all the time, but China does not see this as a crime. This makes it very difficult for our two countries to agree on litigation. How do internal laws affect e-discovery? Positively, laws require social media and websites to provide significant information when requested through a subpoena or a warrant. Negatively, while the formal process of discovery has been a key element of civil litigation for decades, e-discovery has become much more important over the past 10 to 15 years. As the proportion of electronic content of most organizations has become more voluminous and more difficult to manage than information on paper. Reference and discuss all international laws that may influence a forensic investigation. The most recent statute passed in this area is the Telecommunications Intercept and Access Amendment Data Retention Act of 2015, also known as TIA. The TIA removed some of the civil liberties protections that had previously existed for Australian persons via the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation Act of 1979, the Privacy Act of 1988, the Telecommunications Act of 1997, and the Intelligence Services Act of 2001. As of October 13, 2015, intelligence and law enforcement agencies will have immediate, warrantless, and accumulating access to all telephone and internet metadata required by law, with a $2 million penalty for telecommunication companies and ISPs that don't comply. What are the legal challenges of accessing and retrieving electronic evidence stored on foreign soil? Some countries make it hard for foreign law enforcement to retrieve evidence from a crime scene in their country. Like North Korea will not allow anyone to enter their country, nor will they send any information out. The Fourth Amendment limits what an agency can search and seize without it being specifically listed in a warrant. In a situation where Australia is not in complete agreement with the other country, it is difficult for forensic investigators to even enter the country, let alone retrieve the evidence. Assuming cloud storage was used, what procedures were followed to access and retrieve digital evidence stored in the cloud? Digital evidence in the cloud can be retrieved sequentially in a process of steps. First, you must obtain authority. Next, you must establish a chain of custody to avoid any mishandling. Hashing provides proof that evidence has not been tampered with. The tools being used in the investigation must be validated to ensure sensitivity and correctness. Analyze the data that has been collected. Processes must be repeatable to show that the same results can be reproduced. Reporting documents the analysis and methods for record. A summary or conclusion can be presented in a presentation or a video. How did the international laws and jurisdictions influence the processes and procedures followed during the forensic investigation? When different legislations are applied, the different forensic processes and policies will be incompatible. Compounding this problem, how the law is applied will vary and can cause evidence to be inadmissible. What conflicts arose between ethics and international laws during the forensics investigation? Legal measures. If one country does not see certain actions as a crime, it becomes difficult then for the other country to impose its rule of law on the other. And technical measures are not always looked upon with the same significance. Legal authority must decide the grounds for the severity of the technical measure. How did these conflicts affect the investigations? How are the conflicts mitigated and resolved? The investigations were not affected due to improved collaboration, and resolution of ethical issues prior to the event. What steps were taken to protect the United States soil and citizens during the international investigation? Describe any risk due to the country's business or citizens from your investigation. The U.S. strengthened relationships with nations who wanted to counter crime and economic espionage in cyberspace. To deter aggressive bad actors, the U.S. raised the costs of hacking through various types of retaliation. The U.S. took bold strategies on how it will operate in the cyber domain. This concludes our presentation on expert testimony.